There are a lot of Roblox horror games that are popular like Doors, The Mimic, Five Nights at Freddy's. In my opinion, is an underrated category in the Roblox genre. So in this video, we will be discussing different Five Nights at Freddy's horror games, and which one I think is personally my favorite. We will be doing this by categorizing each game by its scare factor, how much content the game has, and the mechanics. For the first game. The first game we will be talking about is FNAF Co-op. Now, FNAF Co-op is a game that I enjoyed playing. FNAF Co-op is like the main FNAF game, having FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, Sister Location, and 2 other game modes. Basement Hunt is a mode where you have to find light switches around the map and turn them on to keep the monster less hostile, and you have to survive 3 minutes without being killed by the monster. In Puppet's Revenge, you will have to find generators around the map so that you can escape through the basement without being killed by the puppet. FNAF Co-op gives you the option to play solo or play multiplayer, making the game more enjoyable with multiplayer and scarier playing solo. On the scare factor, I would give this game a 4 out of 5 while playing solo because of the dark maps and harder nights. For the content, I would give this game a 3 out of 5 because of the different selections of games, meaning more content. And in terms of mechanics, I would give it a 3 out of 5 because of the different things you can buy from the shop to help you with your night, and the different roles you can have to make the game more interesting. Overall, I would give this game a 7.5 out of 10. To the next game. Guys, before we continue, make sure to subscribe so that I can reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and also shout out to Dummirin for being a cool dude. FNAF Hunted is a mix of 4 games: Flee the Facility, Dead by Daylight, A Tower Defense, and FNAF. Let me explain. Basically, when you start the game, you can spin for an animatronic, and you can spin and chance on these animatronic, making them more stronger. The survivors also have some sort of skill tree that will give them different abilities that will help them against the animatronics. Now, when you join a game, you will choose a map, and you can either be a survivor or an animatronic. The survivor's goal is to find 5 computers around the map and hack into them without being captured. If captured, you will be dragged to a ball pit where the survivors can save you before you die. When all computers are hacked, you will be able to open the exit to escape. The animatronic's goal is to just kill all of the survivors before they hack all of the computers. This game is very interesting, especially because I couldn't stop playing it for like 2 hours before the matchmaking wouldn't work. On the scare factor, I would give this game a 2 out of 5. The only thing that is really scary is when you're being chased by the animatronic, which unless you get surprise attacked, it really isn't scary. In terms of content, I would give this game a 3 out of 5 because of there not being a lot of stuff to do besides the normal game and the 2v8 mode. And in terms of mechanics, I would give this game a 4 out of 5 because of the different abilities you can get for the survivors and animatronics, and the vast variety of animatronics you can buy. Overall, this game will get a 7 out of 10, though this game can still be addictive if you're a new player. FNAF 2 Reimagined is just FNAF 2, but with better graphics and more/better mechanics. Basically, when you start the game, you can play the normal 1 to 5 nights, or you can play a custom night, where you can set the animatronics difficulty. Back to the normal game. There are some new mechanics like a fuse box, a flash system for Withered Foxy and Withered Freddy, and there is no music box. Night 6 is probably my favorite part of the whole game, mainly because it's creepy and it has a lot of lore. In terms of the scare factor, I would give this game a 4.5 out of 5 because of the dark atmosphere and the different types of jump scares. For the content, I would give it a 2 out of 10 because there isn't really much to do after you are done with the main game besides the custom night. And for the mechanics, I would give it a 3 out of 5 because of the way the game changes how FNAF 2 works in many ways, making the game more enjoyable. Overall, I would give this game a 6 out of 10, but after you are done with the main game, the game does get kinda boring. Forgotten Memories is a free roam type FNAF game where you can play a maze mode or the normal story mode. Story mode is the main game, which starts after a cutscene. Once you start, your goal is to survive the night, and there are many problems in your way like keeping the power on or keeping the puppet at bay, but there is nothing more scarier than free roam. The maze mode is even more scarier because there are two animatronics looking for you, Nightmare Freddy and Nightmare Bonnie. Your goal is to turn on 6 total switches, 4 generators, and 6 TVs that have a code on them located in each switch room. After completing everything, you will have to go to an area where you have to put in a code from the TVs to escape. On a scare factor, I will give this game a 4.99999 out of 5 because of how the free roam makes the game way more scarier and because of how dark the whole map is, especially when being chased by an animatronic. For the content, I would give it a 2.5 out of 5 because once you complete the story mode, then the maze mode, there isn't really much to do. And for the mechanics, I would give this game a 2 out of 5 because of how it changes FNAF into a free roam, adding way more mechanics in the game, and being 2 times more scarier. Overall, I would give this game a 5.9999999 out of 10. FNAF Doom is also a FNAF free roam game, but instead of being dark and scary, it's a goofy game. Your goal is to survive the night until 6 AM, but the 5th night is too damn hard. So I recommend playing with other people so it can be more easier and more enjoyable. Anyways, each FNAF game gets goofier and goofier, but FNAF 4 is actually kinda scary. It's dark, your flashlight runs out fast, and the animatronics are faster on later nights. On a scare factor without including FNAF 4, I would give this game a 2 out of 5, mainly because of how fast the animatronics are. But including FNAF 4, I would give it a 3 out of 5. For the content, this game is getting a 2 out of 5 because once you complete the first 4 games, there is nothing for you to do besides speed running the whole game again. And for the mechanics, I would give this game a 2 out of 5 because of the way the mechanic changes each night, making the game more interesting and more unexpected. Overall, this game is getting a 6 out of 10. It also gets points for being funny while playing with friends.
Somebody stop me!
FNAF Unlocked is another one of my favorite FNAF games on Roblox. It's basically FNAF 1 but better. Everything looks different from the normal game. Night 4 is a good example. The FNAF in Real Time's Night 4 is where you have to keep an animatronic at bay for the whole night. Night 5 adds Golden Freddy, and they even have a Night 6 to 8, adding other different mechanics in the game. On a scare factor, I would give this game a 3 out of 5 because of the way the game is formatted with weird sounds and ambience in the background while you're playing, and how creepy the game is overall. For the content, I would give this game a 2 out of 5 for adding 3 new nights to the game, but besides that, once you're done with all of that, there is nothing to do in the game. For the mechanics, I would give this game a 3 out of 5 because of how it differs from the main game, adding different things in the game to make it more creepy and unsettling. Overall, I would give this game a 6 out of 10. In conclusion, most of these games fail because of content. Content is a huge part in a game because the more content, the longer people play the game. And quality is also important so that the game can be more interesting and more enjoyable. Overall, I would most definitely play FNAF co-op if you enjoy the regular format of FNAF. But if you like free roam, I would definitely play Forgotten Memories. But in the end, I do recommend that you play all of these games, especially FNAF Doom. But that is the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.